Welcome to All the Fun of the Theme Park. In today's video, we are discussing our visit to Blackpool Pleasure Beach. This is one of them, you know, like when you see them videos and it's like an honest review or in caps.
Yeah.
So we spent 2 days at the park. We stayed at the Big Blue Hotel, which was nice enough. We will do like a separate video on that.
Yeah.
But it were all right, I thought. Quite nice. And it's, you know, you get the tickets included as part of your room package. If you can find the ticket that includes if you can find the room that includes the ticket.
Yeah. You'll have to keep searching through the available rooms and packages to find one that's got it. They're not very out there, are they? They're a bit hidden.
Yeah, but if you find them, it's not a bad little bundle.
Definitely.
But it's 38 quid usually if you buy online. 50 quid on the door.
Ridiculous.
Which is absurd.
Yeah.
Like at that price point, they're competing directly with, like, you know, Fort Park and Alton Towers, and it just ain't that, is it?
It's not that.
It's just not that. I mean, I've always thought of them as like the big three in UK. I mean, I might be wrong. I don't know if it's any bigger than Blackpool.
Bigger as in...
Well, like, how much stuff's there? Like, you know,
coasters and...
Yeah, how many rides are there? Like, it has got a lot of rides.
Yeah, it does.
It's got a lot going on. Don't mean it's any good. So we'll talk about the rides that we did together. Obviously, you didn't do the coaster side of the park because you weren't feeling too well.
Yeah, I was unwell, so...
And you, spoilers, but you didn't really miss.
From what you've said, I'm not too worried about it.
So we'll talk about the stuff that we did do together, starting with Ghost Train. Was it the UK's? It's UK's. I thought it was the world's oldest ghost train. It's not. That was something else, wasn't it? When we googled it.
Yeah.
It was something. I'm sure there were like an older one in America.
Yeah.
But in UK, it's definitely it's oldest one in America. No, what? I'm so distracted. Are you all right?
Yeah.
What?
So what you're saying is
It's
Blackpool Pleasure Beach,
the ghost
UK's
train.
oldest ghost train.
Yes.
Okay.
The ghost train is old.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new scenes. Like, I think they update it like every season. Like, I mean, there's certain scenes that I remember from being a kid that were as they were at that time. But yeah, it's you know it's a bog standard ghost train, really.
It is very it's more like something you'd get at a fair.
Yeah. Maybe like a minor step up, like
maybe it's bridging the gap between a fair and something like Curse, for example.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like we've been spoiled with Curse.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's got a storyline and it's cohesive and it's well themed, and whereas Ghost Train is just a series of random scenes.
Yeah, I mean, like you had a couple of little hills
in
there and stuff, didn't you? But
the closest ride to a roller coaster you went on.
It was, yeah.
And trust me, it was more comfortable than them, more enjoyable. Yeah, we didn't even see the real life ghost, did we?
Well, no, and that was probably the bit that I was most interested in, just to see where this apparent ghost lives and
Clogger.
Clogger.
If you've not seen the episode of Most Haunted about Clogger and the ghost train at Blackpool, you should definitely go and watch that on YouTube. So it's absolute gold.
Yeah,
it's fantastic, isn't it?
Fantastic in a bad way.
Yeah. Well, that's what most ghost things are.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, it is what it is. It's just an old. This is my difficulty with it. Like, before this visit, I had like fond childhood memories of Blackpool, like loads of weekends just spent in Blackpool and at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and I've never been so disappointed.
I think going into it, obviously you had all that nostalgia, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you had that connection that way that you were expecting to have them same feelings and experience, but now as an adult, felt a little different.
Yeah, like I was fully ready to have like rose tinted glasses on. Like I was ready to like buzz off this. But I've genuinely never been disappointed by a visit to a theme park like I have this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did just a series of dark rides really. So we did Alice in Wonderland. Mm-hmm. Enjoy that a bit more than Ghost Train.
Yeah, because I think aesthetically it's more pleasing. Like, I like how they've kept the old style imagery and just it's kind of like UV and stuff, and it's a little bit different, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I like things that are a little bit off-putting.
Bit off kilter and a bit
bit
kitsch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so I loved that. Visually, I loved it, but the ride experience was abysmal.
Yeah.
It was so
those ride
uncomfortable.
cars.
They're awful.
Yeah.
Terrible.
They are.
I'd rather go around in a supermarket trolley.
Yeah. Like that is something that'll get repeated throughout this video. The rides are super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, especially the roller coasters. Like Alice is bad, but you know, you're not really doing anything. There's no drops or anything.
Nothing extreme, is there? Yeah.
No. But that level of, you know, just lack of comfort.
Mm-hmm.
it's a running theme.
The other thing as well that with Alice confused me because the music's like the Willy Wonka music.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know why.
Does Alice in Wonderland has music, doesn't it? Oh, mind you, it's Disney, isn't it? They probably own.
But just put some other like random odd music that would match the theme in. To put a really well-known, recognisable soundtrack over it was just a little distracting.
Yeah, but that's always been there as well. Like that has always been the music.
That's really strange.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
The best star ride, and one of the best star rides in the UK, is the Wallace and Gromit ride. Thriller-matic. Wallace and Gromit's Thriller-matic ride.
Yeah, that was great.
So good.
Yeah, it was really fun.
It's like greatest hits of Wallace and Gromit.
Mm-hmm.
There's loads of animated scenes, like actual like animatronics, and like the scenes are decorated amazing. Like.
Mm-hmm. And there's other effects as well, and as you go around, it's all timed really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, just goes on and on. Like there was the bit where you went through and you could look down at the scene. It was like
the one where he's in the rocket.
Yeah.
Oh, the one where Wallace and Gromit's in that plane. No, Gromit's in the plane.
And you've got like the workshop underneath you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Really good use of space.
Yeah. Oh, that is the rocket one where they're in the rocket and you like go around, don't you? And you see the workshop at the bottom. But there's that one as well. Do you know where Gromit's in the plane and there's like a small village, like it's like you're in the sky.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like.
Well, if you know, plug that we have got the POV of that on there.
Yeah.
If you wanted to have a look at it and see what we're talking about.
Yeah. But that's great. We did that a few times, didn't we?
Yeah.
And that one was actually comfortable as well in that slipper.
That's what I was going to say, because it was actually like cushioned seat, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's probably the most comfortable place in the whole of the Pleasure Beach if you wanted to have a sit down.
Oh, definitely.
Just sit on there for a bit.
Yeah. And we also did the jump scare.
Oh yeah, you and the were-rabbit.
The were-rabbit jump scare. That absolutely freaked me out the first time I saw that. The scale of it.
It is,
and it's so unexpected.
Yeah.
I mean, spoilers for Wallace and Gromit's Thriller-matic ride, but at the end, you've got these scenes where Wallace and Gromit are thanking you for riding and whatever, and then this like daunting music plays, and then you get a jump scare of the massive were-rabbit animatronic.
Yeah, I think that what they've done throughout that ride actually is the scale, how they've done things. It works really well, doesn't it?
Yeah. And the music as well. Some of the music choices, fantastic.
Yeah, I was really impressed with it.
Yeah, it's a really, really well thought out ride. That
Yeah.
really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
it's definitely up there.
Oh yeah. That's definitely probably my top 3.
Yeah, it's probably my favourite ride at Pleasure Beach.
To be fair, yeah, I'd agree.
Like we went on that more than anything.
Yeah.
And we also did Valhalla, which I was really excited for. Like before we went, that was what I was looking forward to the most.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it was shut for a number of years, got renovated and reopened. This was obviously the first time trying out the new version. It's just unnecessarily wet.
Yeah. And that for me, like, before going on it, even just seeing how other people were coming off it, made me think, oh, that's going to be bad.
Yeah.
And then I was over aware of that because I didn't particularly want, obviously not being well, to get soaking wet through. Obviously we did sort of poncho up on that, but...
Yeah, mine went well, didn't it?
Yep. Very unsuccessful poncho on your part.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was, having not been on it, not knowing when and where to expect the water, was quite, because inside the bit of the dark ride, part of that experience, obviously, you also get wet. Whereas a normal sort of a log flume type ride, when there's drops coming, that's when you're going to get wet.
Yeah.
Whereas with Valhalla, it's more random than that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that kind of distracted me from being able to enjoy what they had done with the theming inside and the storyline and it. So I was aware of it and like things with the fire and stuff really good, but I couldn't just immerse myself in that part because I was a bit on edge thinking about where's this water coming from,
Yeah. The facade's amazing. Like, it looks incredible from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And there are obviously, there is a storyline and there are special effects and scenes, but you can't appreciate them because you're too busy trying to stay as dry as possible.
Yeah.
Like, there's just unnecessary amounts of water that get chucked on you. Like, not just from the actual ride, it's just... Oh yeah, we've got this giant hammer that hits a wave over here. The water tunnel is absurd. Like there's just no need for it.
Mm-hmm. I feel like if you're happy to get wet through and not care, it's fine. Go and enjoy it and embrace the experience. But it's kind of a shame they've put so much into that.
Yeah.
And then people who don't want to really get that wet can't really experience it and enjoy it as much.
No, because I wanted to love it.
I was really looking forward to it,
but it's just there was just no need. There was no enjoyment for me getting just It honestly felt like somebody pouring a bucket of water on your head.
Yeah.
And that went even from the drops. I didn't really get wet from the drops. It was just those in between sections that. They're impressive, these massive scale effects, like this fire. Obviously, you've got giant, like I said, the giant hammers that hit the bridge and the water comes over. That visual there is stunning, but you can't appreciate it because you drowned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You get absolutely... It's beyond just wet. It's drenched, it's soaked, it's not... That... You can't convince me that that's fun. It's just not.
No.
It's just not. Like, that can just ruin your entire day. Not to be dramatic, but...
But like I say, some people, the wetter the better,
Oh, yeah.
They might enjoy that.
Yeah. So that was kind of it for your ride experiences?
Yeah, that was it for me.
At Blackpool.
Mm-hmm.
How was your off-ride experience at the park? Obviously, I didn't really spend that much time...
Yeah, not great, really.
No.
Yeah, obviously, we all know, there's a lot of rides that are closed.
Oh yeah.
Or which look permanently closed, but they're just like sat there. It's a bit depressing to see things there still, but that aren't up and running. Mm-hmm. That got that kind of ghost town sort of feel to some parts of it. It's just a bit depressing. Some of it's a bit run down and shabby and that, which is kind of what I expected. I expected a bit of it, I didn't expect it to be, because it is a really old park and it's more of a seaside park in it rather than, you can't compare it to like the big theme parks in that sense.
Yeah.
It's like an independent, and it's, only got a certain amount of money if it's upkeep and whatever, but just if, make the bits look pretty, don't let things sat there rotting away and getting rusted. It's just a bit sad.
Yeah, there's a lot of, obviously at the time the ice baths were closed. That looks, I think it's leaning more towards it's going to get refurbished and reopened. Obviously River Caves looked derelict.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. It doesn't just like, oh, that's shut today. It looks like...
It looks shut.
Derelict. Like, it's like, if you've ever seen...
Chernobyl.
No, but if you haven't, that is good. Watch that. You get like videos of theme parks that are closed, permanently closed, and they've been shut for years, and people go do walk around, and it's like, that's the kind of feeling that it gave me. Them vibes, just in certain areas, certain places, and I was just like, it's just a bit sad.
Yeah, but I think that's, I kind of left feeling a bit sad.
Yeah.
Because now whenever I think about it, I'm just going to think about this trip. And, we had a great time. But the actual, we're talking about the theme park.
Yeah.
It really weren't good. I don't know how, like, some channels make a living out of posting about that.
Yeah, and they do.
I don't know.
And they come up with plenty of content.
I'm struggling here. Like,
yeah.
I really do struggle with it. Like, and especially, like I said, I was so openly biased going in, but I had such a bad experience.
And that's the thing, isn't it? It's like you wanted to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You wanted to be like they are, and like saying more positive things about your experience and about the park. But it just, unfortunately, it's kind of not how you remembered it. Didn't have the same feeling.
No, definitely not. So let's talk about the roller coasters. So you didn't do these.
I did not.
But like I said to you, I wouldn't. I'm glad you didn't go on them. Like, I did not have a good time on the vast majority of them.
Yeah.
The big one, I got a front row ride on that. I was probably one that I never really enjoyed the big one. Like, I'm not great with heights, but it's always, you've got to do it, haven't you? Like, it's the big one.
You've got to,
But Jesus Christ. It's a bit rinse and repeat with like most of them, but they were all painful in different ways. Like the big one, each time you hit a trough, so like bottom of a drop or anything, like it was just horrendous. Like it teeth chatteringly bad.
Yeah, no.
Every ride car were awful. Like the leg room, it was just so compact and hard, and just the opposite of what you get with like modern rides, like modern roller coasters. Like I think a lot of it is you have good memories of back in the day. And it's good that they keep these things running. And they're sort of like almost like national landmarks. Like big one, biggest roller coaster in UK until Hyperia. And I get that. I get why people have like an affinity and an affection for these rides.
Yeah.
But you look at modern roller coasters. They just these need like decommissioning, like the relics of another time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Same with Grand National. I know even back in the day, I knew that were rough. Like you used to feel like I don't know whether it does or not, but it used to feel like the ride was jumping off the tracks. But now, when I'm 6 foot plus, like, and your knees are pressed against the ride car, it were awful. I tried bracing myself in 3 or 4 different positions, and every single time I audibly went, every time. It were awful, absolutely dreadful. Again, it should be in a museum.
Yeah.
Like, it was great, and it's great that they've kept it running this long, and I suppose there is something in that they've, the park deserves credit for keeping them functioning and keeping them open, there's still fans of these, but I can't let it being painfully uncomfortable override. You know, that's what I felt coming off was pain. Like, I don't, you know, it weren't enjoyable.
Yeah. I think obviously as well, like the big one was probably a big draw for Blackpool.
Oh yeah, massive.
Until Hyperia came along.
Yeah.
You know, enthusiasts would want to go to Pleasure Beach, especially just to tick off the big one because it was the biggest one.
Yeah.
And obviously they don't have that anymore. They don't have the Crown, but like you said, the way some of the rides that were running, it kind of had that feeling, like you say, because they are really old and they don't seem to have been maintained to a level of how they're not close to like the more modern rides that you used to ride in.
Modern standards.
Yeah, so it's as if like they're kind of letting them run into the ground. Because when you see that, obviously them derelict rides sat there, and you think, oh, this one's going to be next.
There's going to be a breaking point, isn't there?
Yeah. And I'd say, like, financially, I don't know how they managed to keep a balance, but
it's going to be a tipping point.
Yeah, which is why I think it's, you know, they've changed the structure for ticketing and why it's so expensive.
Yeah.
Because they don't appear to have money to spend, do they?
No. Big Dipper weren't as offensive as the big one and Grand National, surprisingly. So it's an older ride. There were a couple of moments that were bad. But weirdly, as it went, you know, like it goes round, there's like that ice gem at the top.
Yeah.
Weirdly, as it went round that were quite scary because you could literally see, it's like you could see too much over edge. Because I was sat like on the right hand side, so as you go around, you could see too much. So that was quite intimidating. With that one, there were just a couple of bits of what would be airtime, but because it were just getting abused by it. It was just horrendous. I was just getting literally thrown one side to other. Horrible. Avalanche. I thought, you know, I'll give that a go because it's not as rickety as the rest. But even that were horrible. The restraints, the seats, the kinetics of it, everything, with the friction. Just awful. Infusion was also awful. We said when we went to Fantasy Island that I had a bit of, I thought, it might be all right. You know, it's a bit. I think it was opening like early 2000s. You know, more modern than, you know, the previous roller coasters that I've just talked about. And obviously, the ride at Fantasy Island were all right, weren't it?
Yeah.
Quite enjoyed it.
I enjoyed them.
I showed you the ride photo for Infusion. that expression is just pure pain.
Yeah.
That's like a grimace. That's like gritting my teeth, trying to.
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, I got again just head bash side to side, shoulders just awful. Totally, I couldn't wait to get off. And I felt that way on a lot of them. It felt like an endurance test to get through them.
Yeah.
I mean, none of these that I just mentioned, I went on our one and done. Yeah. And we could have, you know, the park were pretty dead. Like, we could have done multiple rides on whatever we wanted. The only multiple ride that we wanted was Valhalla. Not Valhalla, it was Wallace and Gromit. I did do Valhalla twice, to be fair.
You did, yeah.
Yeah, so the only roller coaster that I did like was Icon. That is fantastic. Like, it's really, really good. That's probably the only roller coaster I'd ever bother to go on again at Blackpool. The rest of him I just never want to see. I don't even want to look at him. Like, Icon was really good. Like, there's some really good bits of airtime. It's nice and comfortable. Like, the restraints and stuff give you a lot of movement. So when you get doing inversions and stuff, you get some really nice motions and forces in it. Yeah, it's really good. Like, I had a good few goes on that.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the one you probably went on the most.
Yeah, I really like that. I don't know why that doesn't rank higher when people talk about like best roller coasters, like in UK. Like, I really enjoyed that. Nothing too, you know. I think it's one of them where it's not the biggest and it's not the fastest, so it gets a bit underrated.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed that. That's pretty much, you know. I think it's just not very good, is it?
No.
For
It's
£38
or £50
£50.
like, so I wouldn't pay it.
You just wouldn't, would you?
No.
You'd just go to a different theme park.
Well, yeah. I mean, if they had the old type of system,
Oh yeah,
where it's more of like a pay to play kind of way of doing things,
yeah,
that'd be different. Because obviously I'd really like to give an Icon a go, you know.
yeah,
And if I could go back and just pay for the rides I wanted,
yeah.
I would go again, you know, because you can have a nice day out in Blackpool and that could just be part of it, can't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to pay £50 to go and probably just do Icon and Wallace and Gromit. So yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'd be interested in even doing again. I'd do Wallace and Gromit, I'd do Icon.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Valhalla at a push if there were a heat wave. And I'd have changed of clothes.
Yeah.
And a poncho that functioned.
Yeah.
So just for some context on the poncho.
Well, yeah, it wasn't the poncho that malfunctioned, it was you.
I'd say it's 50-50.
Okay.
So obviously the hood on it, we went down one at first drops and my idea was to hold the hood to my head, but I'd applied that much force with the palm of my hand that I just tore the hood clean off.
And not only that, in the process of doing that, you basically tore across the shoulders of it, and so you were,
Yeah, totally exposed to the elements of Valhalla. So that was enjoyable. That was good. The shop's a bit weird, like that, got like a sort of department store vibe.
There's no theming in the shop. There's no atmosphere.
It's like a Debenhams, isn't it?
It is. It's like an old like department store.
Mm.
It just hasn't got any
Vibe.
Atmosphere to it, has it?
It's not got a vibe.
It hasn't. It's just really
Flat
and dull and odd.
Yeah. So, would you go to Blackpool again? Oh, mind you, would you go to Blackpool? Yeah. Would you go again? I probably wouldn't.
To Pleasure Beach, if I was going to Blackpool anyway, and if I could if I get free ticket, like obviously we didn't pay ticket separate from the hotel. It was a bundle, so you basically didn't pay for the tickets. I wouldn't pay the money, but if we could do like pay to ride, or credits scanned to get on whatever, back to the old-fashioned way of doing it, then yeah, I would go, because I'd definitely like to do Wallace and Gromit again.
Yeah.
Because I did enjoy it, and then I definitely would like to have tried Icon. So if I had an opportunity to go and do that, I would. Watching you go round and round and round, it's a bit depressing. But yeah. But if I had to turn up and pay £50, then no. Because it's not even that nice of an environment. Like other places you could spend the day.
Yeah.
There, it's just like, I think once you've done the ride you want to do, it's kind of over, isn't it?
Get in and get out.
Yeah.
On that note, let's get out of this video. Because it's just depressing. It just makes me so sad. Like, I just think it's just so... I was so underwhelmed and disappointed, and it was just... I just wanted it to be good, and it just weren't.
You know what you did like about it?
What?
The Tango Ice Blast refills.
Yes, yes. Go back for that. I'd go in if you could just have a walk round, pay to go on Wallace and Gromit and Icon, get an ice blast, and then go to Passage.
Yeah.
That's what I'd do. Go to Passage del Terra after.
Yeah, definitely.
So what do people? What's going on with Blackpool? How the future? What does it look like? That's what I'd like to know. Because I think it can only go downhill from here.
Well, this is what I mean. With what you see there, it looks like it's on that downward spiral, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Which should be a shame. But
let's see. As far as I know, and at least in my mind, it's the third biggest park in UK, behind Fort Park and Northern Towers. Mm-hmm. But where does it rank? I want to know where people would rank Blackpool in the top 10 of UK theme parks. So please like and subscribe. and thank you for watching.
Bye.